right, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Sound Vision Art and Life. My name is Adewale Booker Jr. Please review us, rate us, give us a 5-star, don't be a hater. Today, I'm going to talk about soundtracks of my favorite cartoons. We're going to go from Karjakz Assassins to Blade, Ironman, Gundam Wing, Teknoman. You know, if I thought it was a cool soundtrack, we're going to hear it. I think it's important to talk about some important things, beats, the introduction, and the cadence, man, because there's nothing like a soundtrack of a cartoon intro, and if it's good, it's going to make the cartoon even more awesome. So, before we get into today's podcast, I want to thank our sponsors. This podcast is brought to you by A4 Capital Consulting, growing good business anywhere and everywhere. At A4 Capital Consulting, take your business to the next level. That's A4CapitalConsulting.com for details, y'all. A4CapitalConsulting.com for details, y'all. And this podcast also is brought to you by Anadel Foot and Ankle. Don't live with foot pain, let Anadel Foot and Ankle make your feet happy again. That's AnadelCenter.com for details, y'all. AnadelCenter.com for details, y'all. And as I stated before, AnadelCenter.com, my custom orthotics. This is what I put in all my batas for footwear because my feet, they hurt sometimes. And ever since I started wearing these, no more pain. So AnadelCenter.com for details, y'all. AnadelCenter.com for details, y'all. And let them get you your own custom orthotics. All right, y'all. So as I stated before, today we're going to talk about cartoon intros. I'm just going to maybe list about 10 of them because there's nothing like a cartoon soundtrack that makes it go. You know what I mean? So let's start off with, of course, my creation, Karjakz Assassins. Let's start off with that. And then we're going to go through different ones and why I like them, right? Because there's important things I want to talk about. Beats, introduction, and cadence, excuse me. Cadence in a soundtrack for a cartoon or even an animated series or even an animated movie is very important. There's nothing worse than watching a cartoon, but the sound is horrible. That just sucks. And I've watched a bunch of cartoons I thought they just was trash. I'm not going to name those today, but I'm going to start off with one that I thought was good. Let's see if we can. Oh, yeah, we got this now. So look. You know what? Let me start from the beginning. So I can flip it. There we go. That's much better. So yo, that's the soundtrack for Karjakz Assassins. I mean, I've watched a lot of cartoons. I don't think any cartoon that I've ever liked, they've all had one thing in common: an awesome soundtrack. Like for example, beats. I can't even imagine the team it takes. Whether it's X-Men animated series had a good beat, Gargoyles had a good beat, especially in the intro and also too in the ending of the episodes. Iron Man had a good introduction and ending episode because the sound was the same. I'm trying to think. Teknoman had a good one. Exo Squad had a good one, and also too the commonalities. All these three things were cadence. They all had great cadence. Like for example, let's go to this Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in the Half Shell, Turtle Power. Let's see here. Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in a Half Shell, Turtle Power. They're the world's most fearsome fighting team. We're really Ninja Turtles. They're heroes in the half shell, and they're green. So that's Turtles right there. That's another good one, and that went for about 10 seasons. All these things I'm going to show you have different influences on my creation. Of course, Karjakz Assassins. The soundtrack for the beat of a cartoon is so important, man. I mean, that can just make you completely be turned off by the whole cartoon itself. You can have good visuals, but if the sound behind the visuals isn't awesome, it's going to be a train wreck. And there's been a bunch of cartoons that's been like that. I can't even, they're not even worthy for me to talk about, but they're probably why they're not in my favorites. You know what I mean? I got these cartoons that I like watching, these cartoon intros, because they give me ideas every Saturday. I love watching them. I spend that time. I kind of designate that day to watching cartoon intros to see how creative these guys were. Cartoons from the 80s all the way through the 90s. You know what I mean? Like the beat, not the introduction, right? the way it starts. It's like Iron Man might have one of the best introductions where I see the fluid. It's like a forge. The thing of pours out of the hot lava pours out of the thing and then melts into something, and then Iron Man does his thing. You know what? I'm gonna just play for y'all. You know what I mean? Because I think the Iron Man one is the best.
Perfect fire poking stick.
No, I'm getting a commercial. I can't believe this nonsense, yo. Over here, let me let this YouTube commercial go. Boy, this is what I get for using YouTube. But I gotta do what I gotta do. Shoot. Now we on the come up. All right, y'all. I'm gonna play for y'all. That's another great cartoon intro. So Iron Man had the awesome beginning, the beat on this cartoon I've always thought was fire. And it's funny too, because there's similarities between this beat and the actual movie itself. I think some of the, like, especially the transformation scene, the first Iron Man transformation scene, where he actually puts on the armor for the first time, the Mark One, and he goes to I've forgotten the place. It's the first transformation though. My brain just went flat right there. Excuse me. But that right there was just, oh my God, it was just fire. A lot of cartoon soundtracks, especially a lot of Japanese anime cartoons, always have great soundtracks. You know what I mean? um, Gundam Wing, Teknoman, which are the next two I'm going to show y'all. They are off the hook because I think that's really what makes Japanese cartoons really, really cool. I feel like they take the time to create awesome soundtracks. A lot of your He-Man, She-Ra, Voltron, all were made by Korean or Japanese artists that are making the beats. Scott Levy, I believe, who did Power Rangers, he did Teknoman, he did He-Man, he did oh my God, I'm trying to think. It might have did Mask as well. Mask Armored Strike Command. That cartoon, which I've heard might become a movie soon, which would be awesome. You know, let's go to some of the ones I'm talking about. Let's talk about Teknoman real quick. Then we'll skip over to Gundam Wing. Batman, the animated series, that was another good one. Let's see here.
At the end of the 21st century, the Earth was invaded by a horde of mutant fighter crafts under the control of the Venomoid warlord, Darkon. When I descend upon the Earth, darkness will unfurl its banner across yet another region.
So, Teknoman's another good one. And Teknoman, God, that cartoon was off the chain. 1 year, 1994 through 1995, 43 episodes. Oh my God. The Iron Man I showed y'all previously was from 1990s, 1996 through 1998. And then the Turtles, of course, one of the greatest ever, 1987 through 1996 or 1997, 10 years running. Teknoman was off the chain, 43 episodes. You can definitely find them all on YouTube because that's what I'm watching right now. The soundtrack, y'all, and it really helps me to make beats when I'm messing with sound on my stuff, because I'm starting to work on making sound for introduction or animations. Makes me think about really to be crisp with the beat, to make it the best that I can make it, so that when you because future Karjakz Assassins animation that y'all gonna see that I'm working on, the beat that I heard from this classic one that I played today ain't gonna be the same. I've made some serious modifications. So soundtracks for cartoons is important. As you can see, I've got the classic Karjakz Assassin sweater on. So if y'all want one of these, visit soundvision.com. It's got the beanie too, the Blade beanie. I'm wearing that today, just trying to mix and match. Get all this stuff available on soundvision.com. As you can see, the banner behind me, most of these characters you see on these banners are definitely available on apparel, footwear, and art on soundvision.com. You know what I mean? That's just to let y'all know what's going on. You know what I mean? But I can't stress enough the importance of soundtrack. It's just off the chain. You know what I mean? And then, like, let's talk about another one, Gundam Wing. I don't want to forget this one. Let's see here. Ooh, I gotta get goggles before I get Gundam Wing. Actually, I'm gonna get Gundam Wing and Teknoman and Thundercats. I almost forgot Thundercats.
Hi, I'm Bruce Bowen. And
I can't believe this. I'm over here listening to a commercial for real.
Karjakz.
Man, that's Thundercats for you right there. Perhaps the greatest cartoon intro ever made. God, that cartoon was off the chain. Oh my God. Cadence, the beat, of course. The introduction, again, the cadence, man. I mean, it seems like when the lady was singing, it was just every character was boom, boom, boom. I mean, cartoons, man, they don't have what they used to have back in the day. Nowadays, when you watch cartoons, they just, it's the episode and that's it. They don't really give you the effort to give you the introduction. And that's really what makes cartoons so awesome. The introduction, like you got excited about the fact that the soundtrack, you about to hear it. And no matter how many times you heard it, it didn't bother you. Like Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in the Half Shell, Turtle Power. Till today, I can still hum the sound. You know what I mean? Iron Man, same way. Gargoyles, the same way. Thundercats, the same way. And then next I'm about to show you Gundam Wing, the same way. I mean, the old school cartoons where is that? Was that, man? I can't even, oh my God. All right, I'm going to get Gundam Wing. I'm going to get Gargoyles, and then we're going to call it a wrap. Let's see here. We got yeah. Another great one. Another great soundtrack. Another great cartoon. Most of the best cartoons, because I know this is a podcast about soundtracks, is they have the best animation / sound sequence. They just in cadence with one another. I mean, this really helps me when I'm working on Karjakz for Assassins. I think about all the best stuff I've ever heard. We're gonna hear one more and then we're gonna be done. But it's just the best, man. I can't stress enough the beats, the introduction, the cadence. A lot of cartoons that aren't successful, I always feel like that cartoon intros stink. They just terrible. Like they try to make Thundercats, and that's what I'm talking about right there. No introduction enough. They just did the little raw in the beginning, and then the symbol shows up, and that's it. And I'm like, dude, that just gives no kind of introduction to what you want us to watch. How am I supposed to get excited about you showing me nothing? You know what I mean? I can't stress the importance of soundtracks. Even when you watch animated movies, they have a soundtrack to it. The beginning is always like a slow gauge, a slow break in for you to understand what's about to happen with the cartoon. So I can't. Oh my God, soundtrack is so important, man. One last one, y'all. One last one. Got Gargoyles coming up. I got to show y'all Gargoyles because he's one of my favorites. Here. Here we go. I'm gonna look for Gargoyles, y'all. Y'all give me a second. Yeah.
1,000 years ago, superstition and the sword. It was a time of darkness. It was a world of fear. It was the age of gargoyles. Warriors by night.
Even though Gargoyles doesn't have a speed tempo to the soundtrack, but it has that opera feel to it. And that's what's always made Gargoyles a great cartoon. To be honest with y'all, as far as I'm concerned, it's one of the top 5 cartoons of all time. 3 seasons. Season 2, which is still, till today, I'm still tripping about it. 52 episodes. That's like, nowadays, that's like 5 seasons. They ain't doing, you will never see 52 episodes again on a cartoon. And if it does happen, it's a shocker. You know what I mean? Because aside from companies not wanting to spend the money, the production, you know what I'm saying, the cost amount, but they don't put enough creativity into these cartoons to even want to do these things. So Gargoyles is one of the greatest cartoon soundtrack intros ever. And I got another one. Last one, y'all, I promise. Last one. I had to get X-Men. y'all know I had to get X-Men. There's no way I could do this without getting X-Men. So let me just get X-Men. There goes X-Men. One of the greatest cartoons ever made. X-Men is just X-Men, one of the greatest cartoons ever made. You can see the cadence on that is faster. That actually helped me when I was creating Karjakz Assassins. Avengers helped me. Iron Man helped me, because you have to create sequences and the frames, because you're using multiple characters. And X-Men is probably the only cartoon I can think of where you're introducing over like 10 characters in one intro, which was insane, because you went Cyclops, Wolverine, Rogue, Storm, Gambit, Beast, Jubilee, Jean Grey, Professor X. I mean, dude, that's 9 characters or 10. That's just a ridiculous amount of characters. You rarely see that nowadays. Of course, Avengers have a whole bunch of people on their team, but they didn't introduce them like that in the cartoon show. Not in Avengers Assemble, and definitely not in Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Earth's Mightiest Heroes, you kind of show Hulk, then you show Thor, then you show Captain America, but you don't show them with the names and stuff, and then their backgrounds too. But soundtracks, man, I can't stress that enough. It is too important for a cartoon. It is so important for it to have a good soundtrack. If it has a terrible soundtrack, it's probably gonna suck. And all the cartoons I've showed y'all today, from Teknoman to Gundam Wing to Iron Man to Turtles, to X-Men I just showed you, to Gargoyles, and of course the Karjakz Assassin one, all have one thing in common: great soundtracks. People aren't listening to. People like to see as much as they like to listen. And so to me, I think it's important to really have a great soundtrack to whatever you're doing. So, y'all, that's all the cartoon soundtracks today. I might come at this again with a different episode further down the line to go into more detail. But that's today's show, y'all. But before we get out of here, as always, we got new stuff we got to show y'all. You know what I mean? Let's start off with the beanies. We just got them in. You know, I showed y'all last week, but I'm going to show y'all again. New beanies, man. They are light, featherweight. They are awesome. And you can have 2 sides to them too. So, you know, beanies, man. That's what we got going today. And then, of course, we got the phone cases. Karjakz Assassins, right? You know what I mean? This is an iPhone 12 Plus, but there's some of you out there have 13 Plus, so we got that. And pretty soon we'll come with the 14 Plus. But we got them from Samsung Galaxy, and we also have them from Samsung Galaxy 10 all the way to Samsung Galaxy Ultra 22. And then we've got, for iPhones, iPhone 8 all the way to iPhone 13 Plus. And then can't forget this right here, right? This is for a regular iPhone 13 phone case right here. You know what I mean? So lady superheroes, different characters, man. I've got Iron Man, Karjakz Assassins, Turtles, Voltron, Cyborg, Batman, Black Panther, Black Lightning, Storm. Any of the drawings that you see behind me on the banner, we definitely got available for the phone. You know what I mean? And also too, can't forget the Batas footwear, low tops. You know what I mean? These are available. You know what I mean? So you got to go get your pair today, you know, on soundvision.com. And then, of course, you got the high tops. And some people just prefer the high tops. Just as how it is. You know what I mean? So we got the high tops. You know what I mean? And then, of course, the new toy in the arsenal. The Bata Sport Ones. Yes, these are the champions right here. These shoes are off the chain. You know what I mean? Look at these, man. Oh, my God. The detail. They are great for running. They feel great on the feet. Trust me. These are awesome. You know, I'm going to tie it. You know what I mean? These are awesome. And yes, it's a pair because I already showed you. I took it away. But look, art is different on all sides. It's like a walking mural, but you're running in a running mirror. You know what I mean? So this is what you want right here, man. The Bata Sport Ones, they are awesome. Available on soundvision.com now. We got them in Karjakz Assassins. We got them in the Karjakz Assassins Classic and then the Karjakz Assassins version 5. But we also got them in all the characters from the Karjakz Assassin universe. Cajun, Escalade, got the male characters right now, that's Cajun, Glocks, Rasputin, Shepard, Diesel, the assassin characters, Sun Tzu, Revo, Excursion, Yukon, Coyotes, and what else got them in the other characters? You're like Blade, Iron Man, Batman, Black Lightning, Black Panther, Voltron, Mega Man, Turtles, Captain America. You know what I mean? So check them out again, man, y'all. So that's what's going on with the Battle Sport Ones. These are new to the line, right? So get your pair. You know what I mean? And also, before we get up out of here, because I don't want to forget, don't forget to get your copy of the Karjakz Assassins bio book. It tells you about all the characters in the Karjakz Assassin universe, height, weight, because this right here is going to help you to understand the first official Karjakz for Assassins that's coming out soon, and it's going to be a sick one. It's going to be a game changer. You know, I mean, everybody likes to say game changer, but I actually believe what I'm going to do, what I'm doing, is a game changer. You know what I mean? So get this bio book available now on sunvision.com, y'all. So y'all, that concludes our show today. Before we get up out of here, I want to thank our sponsors. This podcast is brought to you by A4 Capital Consulting, growing good business anywhere and everywhere. Let A4 Capital Consulting take your business to the next level. That's A4capitalconsulting.com for details, y'all. A4capitalconsulting.com for details, y'all. And this podcast is also brought to you by Anadel for the Ankle. Don't live with foot pain. Let Anadel for the Ankle make your feet happy again. That's AnadelCenter.com for details, y'all. AnadelCenter.com for details, y'all. I'm going to show it to y'all again. You know what I'm saying? The orthotic insoles is what I put in my shoes so I feel awesome comfort when I'm walking. I can use them when I'm running. I can also use them in my when I'm in my regular shoes. So, you know, they go into the let's put them in so y'all can see. As you can see, it's what I do right here. That's how I do it right there when I gotta go places. You see them going into the shoe? That's what I do. You know what I mean? So that way y'all don't know, y'all know I ain't playing. It's what I do with my insoles right there. So AnadelCenter.com for details, y'all. AnadelCenter.com for details, y'all. So y'all, thank you for listening. This podcast is produced, written, and directed by yours truly, Adewale Booker Jr. Please check out our website check out our website at soundvision.com. Excuse me. And you can also check out our podcast wherever you listen at Deza, Amazon, Podcast Index, Spotify. And you can also listen to our website at soundvision.com. And please check out our social media platforms. It's so important. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all at SoundVision. As I stated before, and I keep saying it, social media is a part of the game. Use it for what you need it for, to promote your brand, to promote your art. If you're an artist, you ain't got this, you got to get your Twitter game on. No, let me rephrase that, y'all. Your TikTok game and your YouTube game are the most important. TikTok number 1, YouTube number 2, and let the others follow where they do. If you don't got TikTok and YouTube, you way behind. You missing out on viewership. You missing out on potential clients, potential customers, and just promoting your brand, because that's what these platforms are for. Master your platforms. It's so important that your TikTok and your YouTube game be on point. We've got a lot of followers on TikTok, and we're starting to catch up on a lot of subscribers on YouTube. That's our goal. So y'all check that out. And please don't forget to review us, rate us, give us a 5-star, don't be a hater. And as always, y'all, continue to aspire and achieve. Have a great week. Stay safe, y'all. Peace.